Hello everyone, I am Priyanka Pulsonder, Assistant Professor IT Department. In my previous video, we discussed about key and different types of key, and in this video, we discuss relational model and codes rule. Now, topics are covered in this video like what is a relational data model, then basic concept related to relational data model, and code rules. Now, first we discuss what is relational data model. Relational data model is a primary data model which is used around the world for data storage and processing. It is used for data storage and processing purpose. The relational model is most famous model because the simplest structure as compared to other database model like network or hierarchical model. The relational model is now considered as the primary model for database. And the relational data model is the simple model having all the properties and capabilities that is required to process data. The relational model consists of three major components. Which three components? First one is data structure, second one is data integrity, and third one is data manipulation. So what happens in data structure? The set of relation and set of domain that defines the why data can be represented. Okay, and second one is data integrity. Integrity rules that define the procedure to protect the data. And third one is data manipulation. It is used the operation that can be performed on data. Also, in relational data model, the data is stored in different tables. These tables are interlinked with each other with the help of column field in between them. Okay. Now we discuss basic concept of relational model. First one is table. Relational model refer table as the basic input. In relational model, related data is collectively carried in the structure format in database system. It is a combination of row and column where the record are represented by the row and attributes are represented by the column. Record are represented by the row and attributes are represented by the column. In relational data model, relations are saved in the format of tables. The relation among entities is stored in this format. Now next model is, or next basic component, that is tuple. Tuple is a single row for the table. It is single row for the table and it contains a whole record of a particular data item. For example, in student table, the entire information about a particular student like his roll number, name, mass, etc. are included in the tuple. And a tuple is an ordered set of attributes value. Next one is relation instance. A finite set of tuple in a relational database system that is used to represent relation instance, and relation instance do not have duplicated tuples. Okay. Next one is relation scheme. A relation scheme describes the relation name, attributes, etc. Next one is relation key. Each row has one or more attributes known as relation key. What is relation key? Each row has one or more attribute which can identify the row in relation uniquely. Next one is attribute domain. Now what is attribute? It is a column of a table. For example, in a table student, there may be different attributes like roll number, name, student mass, etc. Every attribute is attached with specific data type which decide that which type of value can be inserted in those attributes. Okay, attributes are also known as fields. And next one is domain. Every attribute has some predefined value, scope, known as attribute domain. What is attribute domain? Every attribute has some predefined value or scope is known as attribute domain. This attribute domain decides which type of value are permitted in the attribute. Okay, and the type of value that contains where string or numeric or data type. And the domain also decided some integrity constraint for value to be inserted in the database. Okay. Now next we discuss Coates rule. This concept is introduced by Dr. E.F. Coates, a researcher of IBM. There are 13 Coates rules and we will discuss one by one. Coates designed this rule to define what is required from the relational database management system. All these 13 rules are followed by very few commercial products. Even the Oracle follow 8.5 rules out of 13. Rule 0, that is foundation rule. Foundation rule state that the system must be capable to manage their database system through their relation capabilities. All other 12 rules are derived from this foundation rule. Now, first rule is the information rule. All the information in the database must be stored in a standard form of table, and table is considered as the best format to store and manage the data. Second rule is that the guaranteed access rule. In the database, every single data element must be accessible logically with a combination of table name, primary key is nothing but row value, and attributes name, that is column name. There should not be requirement of any other entity to access the data. Second one is the guaranteed access rule. Now third one is systematic treatment of null value. In that, in the database, the null value must be given systematic and uniform treatment. In number of cases, we may have to set off null value on place of data. For example, data is missing, data is not known, or data is not applicable. Null value is different from every empty character or string of blank character, and it is also different from zero value or any number. Now the fourth rule is that active online catalog. The description of the structure of entire database must be stored in an online catalog known as data dictionary. Okay, and the data dictionary can be accessed by authorized user. Metadata should be maintained for all the data in the database. Metadata is nothing but data about the data. Metadata should be maintained for all the data in the database, and the system must support an online and inline relation catalogs that is accessible to authorized by their regular query language. Okay. The rule 5 is nothing but the comprehensive data sub-language rule. In that, database should not be directly accessible. It should always be accessible by using some strong query language. And these rules illustrate that the system should support at least one relational language. And the languages has a linear syntax, and it can be used both interactively and within application programs. Now the sixth rule is that view updating rule. In that, view are the virtual table created using query to show the complete view of the table. All views that are theoretically updatable are also updatable by the system. The rules state that we should be able to make changes in the view. The seventh rule is that high level insert, update and delete rule. In that, high level means multiple rows from multiple columns are affected by a single query. This rule states that the database must support insertion, updation and deletion. For example, suppose employee got 5% hike in a year, then their salary has to be updated to reflect the new salary, since this is an annual hike given to the employee. This increment is applicable for all employees. So, the query should not be written for updating the salary one by one for thousands of employees. A single query should be strong used to update the entire employee salary at a time. Okay. And eighth rule is that physical data independence. Changes in physical level means format of data storage or container of data like array or linked list must not be required any change to an application. Rule number 9, that is logical data independence. The user view, view means application, should not be dependent upon logical data in the database. It means that changes in logical data must not be affected the application which is used. For example, if two tables are merged or one is split into two different tables, there should not be any impact or changes on the user applications. Okay. Now the rule number 10 is that integrity independence. The integrity constraint must be specified independently from application program and stored in the catalog. We should be able to make changes in integrity constraint independently without the need of any changes in the particular application. Now the next rule is that is rule number 11, distribution independence. The distribution of database at various locations should not be visible to end user. Always remember, the distribution of database at various locations should not be visible to end user. User should always get the impression that the data is located at one site only. It means that even though the data is distributed, it should not be affected the speed of access and performance of that data compared to the centralized database. Okay, and the rule number 12, that is the non-subversion rule. If there is a low level means single record at a time. If there is a low level language in relational system, then that low level cannot be used to subvert or bypass the integrity rules and constraint that is used to define the higher level relation language. It means that those integrity rule and constraint must be followed, and we can't violate them by using any backdoor options. Okay, it means that multiple record at a time, higher level relation language, multiple record at a time, and low level, that is single record at a time. Hope so everyone understand these 13 rules. Now we discuss advantages of relational model. First advantage, that is easy of use. In system which is managed in the form of table consisting the row and column is much easier to understand. First advantage is easy to use. Okay. Now the second advantage is flexibility. The information from multiple tables can be retrieved easily at a time by joining the tables. It is more flexible. Third one is that is security. The different user can have different level of access of data based on their roles. In the college database, student will have access to their own data only, while the teacher will have access to data of all the students to whom they are teaching. Class teacher will be able to access or see all the report of all the students in that class, but not other classes. And the principal will have access to entire data. It means security. Now fourth advantage is that data independence. In relational system, we can completely separate the data structure of database and programs or application which are used to access the data. It is called as data independence. And fifth advantage is that data manipulation language. For data organization or for data organized in other structure, the query language is either become complex or extremely limited in its capabilities. These all are the advantages of relational model. Hope so everyone understand this concept. Thank you so much for watching this video.